Okay, this is how I am making my spooky unbaked chocolate cluster cookies. So in this pot, I have, well, I made a double batch. So a normal batch would have 2 cups of sugar, a half a cup of butter, a half a cup of milk, and a half a cup of cocoa. And you just put it in a good saucepan, one that like a thicker one, and you're gonna melt it over medium heat. And then it's going to come to a boil, and when it comes to a boil, you're going to let it boil hard for 5 minutes. And if you see in here, because the batch I'm doing is double, I didn't have enough cocoa, so I put some chocolate chips in, and I'll let you know if it works okay. Like ideally you want 100% cocoa, but if you need to top up with some chocolate chips, I'm sure it's fine. Okay, it's finally starting to boil. I'm sorry the light's not very good in here. So I turned down my heat from being a 6 to a 4. I find the boiling part the hardest. Like if it boils too hard, so it's kind of like starting to climb up your pot, that your cookies will end up being really dry and brittle and not very fudgy and soft. And if you don't boil it hard enough, they're liquidy. Like you'll add your oatmeal later, and then when they're sitting on the wax paper, the chocolate will kind of move away from the oatmeal and it won't stick together. So it's something that you may get first time, or it may take patience and to figure it out. But I find that you want it to not climb up, and you don't want only a couple bubbles. You want it to be boiling like so. And you want to stir the whole time, and for 5 minutes, and then we'll take it off the heat. All right, it's been 5 minutes. I've taken it off the heat, and you can see it's still bubbling. And now I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. So for a single batch, you want 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm doing 2, so. And then I'm going to add some oats. So you're going to want 3 cups of oats. So I added my oats, and of course mine are a lot more because I'm doubling my batch, but now you're just going to mix it all together. Okay, the next part I can't do holding a camera, so I'm just going to show you. Take 2 tablespoons and put a lot of wax paper. You don't need as much as this for the single batch, but put a lot of wax paper down on your countertop, and then you're going to just plop them all over. Now you can see how the no chocolate is running from the cookie. That means that it was a good boil. And they don't look dry, they don't look white and brittle. They look nice and brown and fudgy, and so that's how you know they're going to be good. And don't worry about all the spots, all the drippings. Those are really fun for the kids to come around and pick off and eat. Or yourself. Okay, here they are. This is how much a double batch will make you, so you'll get half of that. So now I've gone and I made some icing. I thought I had those little squigglers, but I don't. So I made some icing and I put in a piping bag, and I just added dots wherever you want, wherever it looks like a good place because it's flat, or if you want it just to look a little funny and silly, because these are supposed to be our Halloween spooky treats. My kids don't like things that are really spooky, so I'm using green icing. If you wanted to look a little scarier, you could easily use red, because the red icing for the eyes would definitely pop out a lot more. But we're just using green because my kids get scared at some of the Halloween stuff. Oh, and this one will have 2 different colored eyes. And then, so I have some done here. And then what I've done is I've taken just a sharp, you can use like a toothpick, anything sharp and small, and just added like the eyeballs, kinda. I'm gonna work on them, see what happens.